Hey kids, today on the train wreck, I'm back on my bullshit. Removing the citrus, so that happened. Stupid people are stupid in the last lap where we're talking about themselves. Hey, you sick, twisted freaks, it's Roley. All right, let's jump into the train wreck, shall we? Hello, everybody. My name is Roley. This here is the podcast. You might call it a podcast. I call it a cry for help. And for those of you watching this abomination on the TikTok, hi. Yes, you can go to TikTok and put in my name, Chris Roley, K-R-I-S-R-O-L-E-Y, one name all the same, if you please, and you will find video versions of the Parliament sliced up in little segments for you here, and I'll get into that in just a second. But anyway, you mind looking at the camera? Yes, Bubba, I'll look at the camera. Hi, it's me, and he's me, and all of that. Anyway, it's great. The toy box is something we'll get into in a few. Probably not in this segment, but maybe a little bit later. So anyway, hi. Where have you been? Well, I'll explain. I haven't been feeling like myself lately. I think the last time I made an episode of the train wreck was about the end of February or so. And, well, it's been a little bit of a weird thing because I haven't been feeling like myself. I kind of live in a world of peaks and valleys, to be honest with you. And I've been in a valley since about the end of February, and if I just said the world was gray, would that help? I mean, as a member of Gen X, I mean, I am dead inside, and we all know that. But that's not very funny. I don't care. It is what it is. I've been having a problem and just relating to things, and it's just an outgrowth of what we've all gone through over the past 3 or 4 years. With the pandemic and. Of course, I lost my job, a job I really liked because of the pandemic, and I got a new one. Had a bad experience with the first part of it. They transferred me to another department. I'm doing okay. It's been about a year since they transferred me to that new department. I'm doing great. I'm doing really good, and things are getting back to normal for me, and I feel like doing things again. I guess that's the best way to put it. Does that make any sense? If it doesn't, I don't know. That's the other thing, is that I've just lost the ability to care anymore too much about any of this. The smallest, I'm sorry, Carl Sagan, please. The smallest part of matter is the quark. Thank you. The smallest part of matter is the quark. Yeah, I heard that. Yes. Garbage. No, that's a show. I no longer have the ability to even give a quark of an F. And that's part of it. I guess that's the last part of it here, is because, when I said I wanted to start making creative things again, and part of that, of course, is podcasting, because, well, I have this face and this voice, and one's much better than the other. It's not the face. I think they get the joke. So why are you doing the TikTok? We'll get to that. Okay? So I just decided I wanted to start making things again. And then it comes to the wonderful world of podcasting. And I had to say, okay, do you actually want to do a podcast thing and make a podcast that's going to make money? Like the marketers, hey, you want to make money? Do you want to? No, I don't. I don't want to do it. I can't. I just can't. I had to make a decision about whether or not I wanted to actually be a serious full-time podcaster, or I just wanted to talk shit and have fun. And I've just decided I'm just going to talk shit and have fun. There are other people, and I've been blessed to work with some people and help them create, or give them the idea, the jumping off point to create their own podcast, and I wear that proudly. I do. Right? But I don't know, man. There's just something, I don't know if I'm riddled with ADHD or anything. That might be it. That I just can't keep it going for more than a little while at a time. And while I have fun doing it, there is a certain amount of burnout. I don't know if it's burnout, or it's just executive dysfunction, or if it, If the equipment that I have is out of sight, it's out of mind. If it's any of that stuff, if I don't set reminders, oh God, if I don't set reminders, if I don't have an alarm that goes off that says, you need to do this, asshole, then, it goes away. It just flies away. So I've just had to make a decision. I'm just going to talk shit and have fun. Hi, welcome to the show.
You managed to look at the camera for that.
Yes, I did. Find the lens. The lens is okay.
Having trouble finding the lens?
Yes. If you say that's what she said, I'm
not going to say a thing.
She said it for me.
Why, you don't hurt me.
So anyway, there's that. So about the Tic Tac.
You could just call it by its name.
I know, but I mean, have I ever called a podcast when it comes to my stuff? No. It's Poddlement. This is the Tic Tac. Okay? Are we good? Are we gold? Thanks.
Asshole.
Douchebag. Never mind. So, I've been blessed, apparently, with the ability to do 10-minute segments on the Tic Tac. So, I'm going to use that to the best of my ability and probably yours torture. And I'm sorry, my condolences. I'm going to create segments of the podcast here and dole them out over a series of a few days. And then what I'm going to do after that, at the end of the week, I'm going to put all these Tic Tacs in my parents' 50-year-old Oster blender, hit puree and frappe at the same time. Frappe?
Shelley Fabre?
No, that's the Mickey Mouse person.
She was on Coach.
She was a Mickey Mouseketeer before that.
A Mickey Mouseketeer? You know what I mean.
And it's Shelley Fabre.
No, that's the stuff you spray on the couch to make it smell.
No, that's for... You're going to make me lose my... Up in here.
Just trying to make it hip for the youngsters, huh? Y'all going to make me...
Okay, yes. I'm sorry. Roley, like Wu-Tang, for the children. Shut up. Hi.
We're just trying to help.
Shut up. So, what we're going to do is after that, again, I'm going to put it all in the blender. It's my parents' 50-year-old blender. I'm going to hit I'll hit all the buttons for 3 seconds at a time. It's really old. I have to hand crank it. I'm going to hurt you. So anyway, after, it's going to come out as an audio podcast on my podcast feed at the end of the week, probably on Sunday. So the stuff that you're hearing on the Tic Tac now will drop in the audio feed on the 18th of June. And if you'd like, you can subscribe to the podcast. Just look for Roley. Like Roley Polio, Roley. And you got it. And if you look at, my ugly ass face with in a blue tint with Wayfarers on, that's me. My wife took that picture. It's my favorite picture of me. And I don't have many because I refuse to admit I exist.
Funny you should mention.
Okay, thanks. So that's what we're going to do right now. So, yeah. So as far as the segments are concerned, there'll be a monologue such as it is, like showing here. And there will be a smart-ass take on the news. Usually I call that. So that happened. Then there will be some segment called Stupid People Are Stupid or Stupid Politicians Are Stupid. One of the same. One doesn't necessarily preclude the other. One actually amplifies the other in some cases. Just saying, the Venn diagram might be a circle. And then after that, the last laugh with the voices in my head.
Just like me.
I don't even know who that was, but it just popped out.
I think you were trying to do me, and it just...
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have a sinus condition today.
Why do you mention that?
What do you mean?
Never mind. So, there's that. The voices will come out and in some sort of eruption. And we'll close out the show with something ostensibly funny. Your mileage might vary on the funny. Same as it ever was. So anyway, there's that. This is the Roley Podcast in a nutshell. And yeah. So this is well, I think we'll talk about next in the next segment, since I'm almost out of time. We're going to talk about what everybody else is talking about this week. Especially the squeaky wheels that get the grease and If you're not careful, you might think that it's the whole of the popular culture right now, but it's not. So we'll get into that. I was going to talk about my boy Roger, but I think I'm just going to let that one go because I don't want to cause any trouble. And if you know Roger, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. I'm a Roger Waters fan. I think I'm just going to leave that one alone for right now because, yeah, as much as I like you, boy, you're not doing the Lord's work right now. Let's just put it that way. So back in a second with a new segment. You're listening to Roley. So, moving on, a little piece of housekeeping for you before we go on here. I have been, in the past when I've made clips of the podcast for the Tic Tac, I have made them black and white and left the blue in. Because, as a card-carrying member of Gen X, I did live through at least one Boyz II Men video. And, what? That was a thing? Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember. Did they take out everything but the blue or take out everything but the red? Or, yeah. That's how senile I've gotten. I can't remember. I know they took out everything but one color, but now I can't remember what color it is. Hi, I drove across country with one cassette. I can't remember what it is. Oh, no. Channeling Stephen Wright there just now. Okay. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Thanks. So let's talk about what's going on this week. And if you're looking for a serious take on the news, I am not the one. I watch the news. I know a little bit about a lot of shit, but I tend to keep my mouth shut because I'm not the news splainer. I'm not I don't want to be that guy. I can tell you what's going on. But if you're looking for something besides jokes, okay, sure. Here's what I understand is going on here. And if you read, by the way, if you can't read the indictment, if you go to MSNBC, somebody, Ali Velshi, has made a podcast episode reading the entire indictment, and he's the right voice for that. I just got to say, but I can't remember exactly where it is. It might be on it actually might be on a podcast called "The Prosecution of Donald Trump." So look there. But he's read the entire indictment, and I invite everybody to do so, just like Jack Smith did. Sounds just like Coach Beard, too, if you listen to him. God. Ted Lasso. Best show ever. Please watch it. Here's what I know. I'm a Navy kid. And my dad was 24 years in the Navy, Navy chief. Because of that, we got to do some things that civilians, normal people, people that don't have, all the troubles that military families have, got to do some things that normal folks don't get to do. I got to spend 2.5 years in one of the most unique places in the world, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. When I was 10 years old, we moved there and had a hurricane bust up the place in the first week I was there. Yeah, it was fun. It was Category 5. Threaded the needle between Jamaica and Cuba. Hurricane Allen. Look it up. Whoa, a lot of fun. But, again, kind of a club there. It was back at a time when it isn't what it is now, which I find maddening, to be honest with you. But that's another story for another day. When we moved back here and we retired and we stayed here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, this area is one of the highest concentration of military folks in the world. They all live here. We have the largest Navy base here in the world. So there's a lot of folks here that have to take a class, at the very least, about the training, the sensitive nature of documents and how to handle them and what to do if you do it wrong. Because I work for a government contractor, I have to take that class. And different classifications and who can see them and who can't see them. If you're a U.S. citizen or a U.S. National, or a foreign person, what you're allowed to see and what you're not allowed to see, and the penalties for doing it wrong. And the penalties for doing it wrong, if you've read the indictment, the indictment. God, you people are going to screw me. We haven't already? No, you have. Of course you have. The indictment of Donald J. Trump. Dennis Day was a dancer. Donald J. Trump, millionaire, had a mansion and These are the jokes, folks. All right. The penalties are the same in my case. If I had a classified document and screwed it up, did it wrong, or decided I didn't want to give it back or whatever, it's 10 years per count. Oops. I'm old enough to remember in 1985 a guy named John Walker Jr. who went to the prison. Yeah, there was just one. Went to prison for the rest of his life for selling secrets to the Soviets. There was Aldrich Ames. There's Robert Hansen, whose name you ought to know recently because he day. They just found him checked out in a cell somewhere. He day. Red-shirted. Okay, so there's that. And then, of course, there is one young lady, reality winner, who smuggled a document out, believing she was doing the right thing under whistleblower circumstances, but they didn't treat her that way, and she was sentenced to 5 years in prison for one document. There was Sandy Berger, who smuggled stuff out in his socks. I don't remember if he got hammered for that or not. He should have if he didn't. These are all people that took classified information and did bad things with it. There might have been drinks involved, possibly lube. There was what? At the end of the day, these people went to prison. So I want to take the citrus out of this, for lack of a better way to put it. And I'm here to tell you that any person, any human being, I don't care who they are, this should be a punishable offense. The willful disregard, handling, retention, dissemination, insemination, that too, of documents, classified documents, sensitive nature, is a punishable offense and should be. You can't do that here, son. And the nature of the things that apparently in the indictment, if you read it, we're talking about nuclear secrets. We're talking about military capabilities, not only of our military, but of other nations' militaries. The kind of order of operations if we're attacked and or if one of our allies are attacked, or what we would do to attack another nation. I mean, all these things are, not only are they, damaging to our military and our capabilities, our national security, but there are human beings involved here, human intelligence sources that most likely have been burned and need to be extracted if they're not already dead. And that's a hell of a way to go out, don't you think? Yeah, hi, the President of the United States, he did what? I'm sorry, did he call me? He said Joe. He called me Joe. No, not the President. Should I use another name? I'm sorry. Nicholas? He said Nicholas. Okay, they don't know me as Nicholas here. I'm Alfredo. Right. Okay. They took the gun and the cannoli, and they're right behind me, aren't they? Yeah, that's it. How are you going to handle that, guys? If it was any other human being, they'd be if they were any other human being, they would have been arrested that day. Proof? How about that one little skinny idiot young kid that what was he in the Coast Guard or something? He was sharing secrets on a Discord server, and they snatched his ass up smartly. I mean, that's the right way to do it. Hi, we're with the... No, just come with us. Just never mind who we're with. Come with us. These handcuffs, there will be more handcuffs later, probably an ankle monitor and a shiv if we're not careful, if we're not very careful. No, you're not going to Lompoc. That's minimum security. No. We don't do that, son. Leavenworth, do you understand? Oh, my God. That's what we're talking about here. And only when you insert the name into this equation do people get batty. And I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. If this was a Pepsi Challenge double-blind taste test, you'd be telling me to throw that son of a bitch under the jail. And that's the way it should be. But the second you go, hi, mansion and the yacht, Donald weaponization, oh, just give it a rest. The dude's guilty. Throw him away. And lock up the key. No, that's the way. You're listening to Roley. Kids, next item up on the hit parade is a little segment I like to call So That Happened. I take a couple items from the week that was and crack wise. I guess would be the best way to put it. Crack wise, you know. Yeah, I'm hitting the demo. Sure. Item number 1 from the AP. Amazon's cloud computing service, Amazon Web Services, experienced a little bit of a hiccup on Tuesday, affecting publishers that suddenly found themselves unable to do it right. Company said on its website that the root cause was tied to a service called AWS Lambda, which is different from AWS Lambda, which is the cloud service the nerds use. 3, 2, 1. Which lets customers run code for different types of applications. Roughly 2 hours after customers began experiencing errors, the company said, "We got most of it back and we're working on getting the rest back." Little item of note, I was surfing on Amazon at the time. I'm just saying, clearly they're not dogfooding. They're not rolling their own. They're doing something else. I don't know. This is a service that they provide, but to paraphrase the old lady in the cafe and When Harry Met Sally, I'll have what Jeff's having, thank you. Item number 2. Dateline Chicken Noodle Network. The White House Secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, violated the Hatch Act for using the term mega MAGA from the briefing room podium. The U.S. Office of the Special Counsel is determined and has received a little slap on the wrist and a warning letter. Jean-Pierre was found to be in violation of the Hatch Act, which is a law that is supposed to stop the federal government from affecting elections or going about its activities in a partisan manner. So when she said mega MAGA Republican officials who don't believe in the rule of law, that's according to a letter from the Office of the Special Counsel. Letter was addressed to Michael Chamberlain, who is himself a former Trump official and director of Protect the Public's Trust, which is some kind of organization. After Chamber filed a complaint that Jean-Pierre used the phrase mega MAGA Republicans, say that 3 times fast, and no, I'm not going to, in an inappropriate attempt to influence the vote. Quote, OSC has investigated your allegation and concluded that Ms. Jean-Pierre violated the Hatch Act. However, we have decided not to pursue disciplinary action and instead have issued Ms. Jean-Pierre a warning letter. OSC's Hatch Act Unit Chief Anna Galindo Moroni said in a June 7 letter to Chamberlain, who served in the Department of Education under Betsy Amway DeVos during Donald Trump's presidency. I wonder what Mr. Chamberlain has to say about the numerous times Kellyanne Conway violated the Hatch Act. The one he was also a part of, that the whole administration, that was a thing. It happened. I was awake, I think. The OSC recommended to the former president that Conway be removed from office, which, of course, did not happen. You might remember Conway saying, "If you're trying to silence me through the Hatch Act, it's not going to work, and let me know when the jail sentence starts." Do you remember that? Also, Protect the Public Trust seems to have a little bit of an identity problem. It doesn't know what it wants to call itself, be it a nonprofit or an NGO or something else. also doesn't want you to know how it gets funded. So that's a thing. I don't know about you, but there's a word for a person that doesn't want you to know the truth about them and has a shitload of money with no visible means of support. And since we're not talking about anybody directly related to me, well, crook still applies. Yeah, crook. They're crook. Pay no attention to them. Item number 3. Dateline, Virginia Beach, Virginia. My adopted hometown here. It's a contentious topic that has plagued Virginia Beach City Public Schools for more than a year, and it's what do you do with a proposed LGBTQ plus resolution? Well, the resolution presented by school board member Jessica Owens passed 6-5 around 2:15 a.m. Tuesday morning. The vote came after board members spent 8+ hours listening to around 100 people voice their thoughts on the resolution. The resolution reaffirms Virginia Beach City Public Schools' commitments to non-discrimination and anti-harassment when it comes to LGBTQ plus students and staff. The meeting is on YouTube, and I will provide a link. There's a lot. It's dry. It's very dry, as school meetings are. But I'm doing this for a reason, and no jokes here, guys. I want to send a public shout out to the kids, around 50-ish. Who have been speaking about this at every meeting since the beginning of the school year in September, because they have played by the rules. They have caused enough pressure on the board to put forth this resolution by Ms. Owens. And most importantly, they did exactly what the performative bullshit artists did during the whole pandemic and monopolized the public comment time. They beat the clown show at their own game. It was you, Dad. I learned it by watching you. Now, because of that, no doubt, the bylaws are going to get revisited in time for the next school year. I'll be surprised if they let this continue. This will never happen again. But for now, look, kids, hats off to you, man. You kids that stood up for your community and your friends. And I'm here to tell you, man, the kids are all right, and they are going to save us from themselves. There are certain things that you can bank on in this life. One is death, the other is taxes, and the third thing is stupid people are stupid. There's some items that you might have missed during the week of stupid people being stupid. Showing here. Item number 1, Berlin. Via the AP, a German court says it's giving an 82-year-old man a last warning to avoid jail after he was found guilty of drug dealing despite 24 previous convictions. 24. 82-year-old man, 24 previous convictions. Now, the retired seaman who said he wanted to improve his meager 800 euro monthly pension, that's about $855 by current calculation. He was selling marijuana, folks, and he was handed a suspended sentence by a court in the northern town of Aurich on Monday. German news agency DPA reported prosecutors had asked the court to impose a prison term of 34 months in view of the man's lengthy criminal record and an existing suspended sentence. But the judges said they were going to make an exception and classify the latest crimes as less serious offenses due to the man's particular circumstances and recent health problems. DPA quoted the presiding judge telling the defendant that this is it. This is your last chance. Yeah, until the next time, I'm certain. Item number 2, via Dead State. Disturbing video posted to Reddit showed as an irate, likely intoxicated woman screaming the N-word at passersby, seemingly targeting random black people to assault during her tirade. It's not known what's actually transpired before the video started, but the video starts showing the woman screaming the N-word as another person throws a drink at her, prompting the racist woman to scream, "Stupid NB," before she's punched in the face. Because why wouldn't you at that point? Woman continues to scream the N-word as she grows increasingly distressed and throws her phone at the person recording the video. At another point in the video, the woman walks up to a man, strikes him in the back. She then takes a swing at a woman walking by and attacks other people at random. One man who she attacked responded to her by giving a kick to the behind, and all throughout the video, she's just screaming the N-word over and over and over, and nobody, check the hospitals. I'm just saying, are you kidding? You can't do that, son. Why would you? I'm telling you, anybody with a modicum of common sense these days, in this day and age, if you see holding a phone in your direction, shut up. Walk away. You know? I mean, there's still hope. Maybe there's still a little bit. Maybe you can go, oh, you know, I was having a moment. I was drunk. I was doing, you know. No. To continue at this point in this world in 2023, if somebody's holding up a phone in your direction and looking at you, not the camera. Well, maybe they're looking at the phone. It's the camera's aimed in your direction. Shut up. I mean, dude. I mean, that should be red flag number one. I have effed up somewhere. What did I? Time to retrace my steps. Okay, right. The 7 margaritas wasn't. Did I say something stupid? I said something stupid, didn't I? Yeah. Just walk away. Just walk away. Just mutter sorry under your. I'm sorry. Just walk away. Item number 3. Referencing the speech or debate clause in the Constitution, Representative Thomas Massie is claiming a right to read aloud from any document at issue in the Donald Trump indictment, essentially threatening to read top secret national security documents on the floor of the House of Representatives. Now, these proceedings, as are all proceedings on the House floor, would be broadcast on C-SPAN and available to anybody in the world. From Massey's Twitter, he said this, and it's still up. For what it's worth, under the Constitution, no member of Congress can be prosecuted for reading aloud on the floor of any of the documents Trump has allegedly, that he has copies of. Now, let's be clear about something, okay? Thomas Massie is not a serious person, okay? He's a performative bullshit artist. But he's not this stupid. I can't believe he's this stupid. Even he has got to know this is a no-go. But having said that, I have to share with you the glorious vision that I had. Now, I watch C-SPAN a lot. No, I mean a lot. No, more than that. No, more than that. You may not know this, but the cameras in the house don't belong to C-SPAN. They belong to the House. So there are a lot of static shots. And one of them is a medium shot of the well of the House for when the representatives come up and speak from the podium. And I just had this vision of Representative Massie really getting in the zone, reading all this stuff to own the libs. One of those really long hooks that you've seen in old cartoons or vaudeville, sketches and things like that, just slowly encircles Representative Massie, and then he just gets yeeted out of view, Wile E. Coyote style, with his head being the last to go because clearly he wasn't using it. Thomas Massie. Super genius. Stupid people are stupid. You're listening to Roley. All right, so that's the end of the first. I have a question. Of course you do. Yeah. Hey, everybody, if you're new here, this is the part of the program where Aljon completely throws everything off. Hey, when you said that you were talking about the kid? What? When you were talking about the kid. The kids? Right. Yeah? Well, you said a kid's going to save us from themselves. Yeah, you know what? I need to chime in here. Bubba, what? Of course you do. What did I say? You said the kids were going to save it. The kid going to save us? Wait, the kid gonna... What? The sisters are doing it? No, you idiot. That's Annie Lennox. She don't want to make the air conditioner, right? No. That's Dave Lennox. No, he's a guitar player. Really, if you think about it, he's not that far off. I'm confused. I don't know. Look, you said a kid gonna save... Oh, my God. Does English completely escape you, Al? You the one said it. Said what? You said a kid gonna save us from himself. The kid gonna save us from himself. The kids are gonna save us from... Oh, when I was talking... Oh, did I say... You misspoke. Oh, okay, well then I misspoke. Big whoop. The kids are going to save us from ourselves.
What?
Oh, for crying out loud, man.
You sound like a Western, though. Wait a minute. What? No, let me clear my throat. Hold on. Let me get into. Would you get on with? Hold on, man. I gotta get into the characters. A him.
What?
I clear my throat. A him.
I don't know what to do with you.
Just hang on a minute. This is my time.
I beg your pardon.
Just work with me.
That's my line.
I know. Funny you should mention that.
What?
Never mind. A him.
Oh, get on with it.
All right.
One child of the great American West. A loner. A rebel. One child who turned on his people and became a man. The Kid. Saving us from themselves. Starring Tom Holland, Steve Norway, Michael Germany, and Skippy the Wonder Horse's Mel. The feel-weird movie of the summer. The Kid what gonna save us from themselves. This movie is not yet rated. How in the hell do you do that?
What?
Oh, God. I give up. Look, hey, that is it. Mercifully, for this episode of The Trainwreck, my name is Roley. You can follow me on most of the socials at Chris Roley, KRISROLEY. One name all the same, if you please. Catch the audio version of The Trainwreck here by searching for Roley on the podcaster of your choice. I'll see you next week. Question everything but the contents of a tuna melt. Some shit you gotta take on faith. Stay solid, people. Bye-bye.